Hello and welcome to my channel, Inviting Possibilities. My name is Rochelle, and I'm here to do a love reading for Taurus during Venus retrograde. Yay, fun. Um, yes, Venus retrograde happens every, what did I read? Like every 18 months or so. Um, and any kind of retrograde is a time of reflection, of stepping back, going within. Um, Especially with Venus in retrograde, this is where we kind of look at our relationships, our if we're in one, is it working? If we're not in one, what do we want in a relationship? Sometimes during Venus retrograde, we can get caught up in something that we think we want, and then Venus goes direct, and then we suddenly are like, oh wait, no. What was I thinking? But it can be just the opposite too. I said this in the Aries reading, but my sister knows a woman who got married um to a person who she met during Venus retrograde. So you just never know. But we're going to find out. We're going to pick some cards from the Tarot of Mystical Moments, and we'll find out a little bit about love for you. I'm doing a particular love spread that I found on Pinterest, and I think it's kind of cool. So here, let's just dive right in. So cards one and two are your strengths in love and how you receive love. Your strengths in love and how you receive love. Three of Wands. So this makes me feel like you typically are pretty optimistic about um, about things working out, about meeting. Feeling like you're going to meet someone who's going to be the right person. Um, or just generally feeling like, because some people can get really down and be like, "Ah, I'm never going to find anyone," and I feel like you're kind of more like, if you're kind of in a not with anyone at the moment, that you're kind of biding your time. You know that something is going to come along eventually, someone is going to come along eventually. um and how you receive love, and I think too that you're open to options, because sometimes the Three of Wands can be about like um waiting for you know um having your eyes set on the horizon, not necessarily keeping yourself, um what's the word, uh I can't think of the word. Keeping yourself in, just in your one town, your one area that you live. You're open to options. And so maybe, you kind of course, with social media these days, maybe um you're open to connecting to others who don't necessarily live in your area. Meaning maybe you're open to like a long distance relationship. Maybe, I don't know. If you were to find the right person, maybe you'd be willing to relocate for them or something. Anyway, and then the other one, strengths in love and how you receive love. 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, you're so optimistic. I really like this, because this is a card of having it all. Um, Having the family, the love, the connection, the abundance, the prosperity, all the good things. When you meet someone that you feel very drawn to, very connected to, you open your arms wide. I feel like even despite what you've been through in the past, you continue to have this kind of romantic, almost idealized idea of what you want, and willing to work towards it. You're like, well, it didn't work before, but maybe in the near future things will work out the way I want. You know, I feel like you're this person, you're the type of person that um you eh, you kind of think of romantic connections as stepping stones. So it's not like, well, I got my heart broken, so I'm never doing that again. It's more like, well, I learned something. Yeah, that really sucked, but now I know what I don't want and what I want for the next connection. Okay, so then card number 3 is your weakness in love. It's your weakness. Queen of Pentacles. um you have a weakness for beautiful, strong women who can do it all. No, this is not about gender. This is about energy, of course. Um, it kind of feels like, the Queen of Pentacles is very, very resourceful, very prosperous, also very nurturing, a good mother or father. Again, it's gender doesn't matter here, but it's like, um, this is someone who's really stable, who you can really rely on and trust. I especially for people with a lot of Taurus in their chart. ha- um, you're very good at manifesting what you want. You typically really you are focused on the finer things in life. You like comfort, you like to be prosperous because of what it allows you. It allows you a better quality of life. And you in particular um, are very driven by a good quality of life or working towards that. So anyone who comes along who is seems like they have a similar kind of leaning, a similar kind of wanting things to be really good, wanting to be abundant, work towards prosperity, be very stable, and then be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Like when someone mirrors this in you, you can very easily fall into a connection. And I think it could be that for in this anytime there's this kind of energy to just take your time and get to know a person. Don't dive in head first. Maybe that's what you've done in the past because you do have this kind of idealized way of looking at people and situations. Um, and you just want to like hold yourself back a little bit. Like, there's no rush. And that's the thing with Venus retrograde is it is a time to not make any major decisions. Any kind of retrograde, you really want to try not to um m- any life altering decisions certainly. Um you want to bide your time and discover what's important to you. Better to say, what's important to you. You wanna make sure that whoever you're dealing with lines up with what's important to you. And sometimes they can look real good at first, real good on paper, and then, you know, other parts come out. Okay, so then, cards 4 and 5, your future soulmate and a clue on who they are. Your future soulmate and who they are. Death. Could be a Scorpio, someone with a lot of Scorpio in their chart. Um, Someone who understands that death is a part of life, that there's beauty in death. You know, yes, death can be very tragic, but it's also necessary. And with all the flowers blooming here and the butterfly, death very often is it's not just a thing that physically happens to, living creatures. It's also um energetic cycles. When a cycle ends, it's a death of sorts. But it's because there's transformation that's meant to happen in order to have a rebirth, or a birth in general. Um, I feel like your soulmate they're very deep and they have some kind of wisdom to share with you about this. Ten of Cups. Your soulmate is, I mean, your future soulmate and a clue on who they are. There's someone who is a perfect match for you. I mean, this isn't one of those soulmates where you come together, you learn a lesson, and that's that. This is someone who is going to be there for the long term. You two are you come from the same type of energy. You might be a little different from one another, and yet you fit together so perfectly. He's the merman, and she's the kelp woman. um, it's this person is this is what you deserve and what you've been waiting for. You've been going taking these steps, these stepping stones with these different people in your life, and this is where you finally reach, the other side of all that. You finally get your happily ever after. Of course, it's never exactly that the way they describe it in fairy tales, but it's close. This is someone who wants to give you their heart, who wants to commit to you for the long term. This is your forever person. So, um the final card is, what is holding you back in love? What is holding you back in love? King of Pentacles. Um this deck is so great because there are two of every king, one female and one male. So this King of Pentacles. Um it's interesting because we have the Queen of Pentacles as your weakness, and your King of Pentacles is what's holding you back. I think that there is some kind there's a need to open up to more than just, having a like I was saying, you really like to have stability, you're very focused on financial prosperity because of what it can afford you and your quality of life. With this is what's holding you back. I think that there's something here around how do I say this? You have had an idealized version of the type of person you want. to the point of exclusion of anyone else. So if they don't have a good job and X amount of money in their bank account and drive a certain kind of car and da 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 da, then you're like, nah, no, I'm not even giving them my time. Um, which makes me think that whoever is coming in is they might be very abundant in their own right, but it doesn't look exactly the way that you always pictured. Um, some of us sometimes will choose people because we want that security in our life, and so we end up um, kind of settling almost because we get that certain amount of we get what we want basically, but then we compromise on other things. And I think for you to actually have this person come in, you have to broaden your horizons and be open to other types of people who wouldn't necessarily fit that mold. Um, I mean, this card, it makes me think of, because the guy's wearing the merman. I just think of Zoolander. The merman, he's wearing a top hat. And he's got his fancy coat on. This is someone who knows how to enjoy the finer things in life, but it's not the end all be all. Like, this speaks to me of people who are happy to be together and it doesn't matter what their situation is. They know that they can support one another. And that's more important than just someone who has the physical stability. You might be meeting a person who is going to show you a whole new way of being. They're going to help you transform your life, your world, your ideals, your beliefs, your values, all that, because it's someone that you maybe have never met this type of person before, and you're just like, you know, kind of, it's a little bit of a brain scramble. But when you can kind of get past what you think you want and look at what's actually there in front of you, um, it will be so transformative. I mean, finding your forever person, like, it's really good. Okay, so let me just pick some cards from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. Balance. Yes. Yeah, this kind of sums up what I've been having such a hard time saying, which is, it's you want balance. Sure, money, and all the good things that money can buy is really great, but there's so much more to life than just that. There's a need for balance. This person, I think, is, when you meet them, they might seem a little different, a little, you're like, "Whoa, what is this person all about?" But then they start to show you what it actually means to be in balance. They take you deeper. Self-love. Mm. Self-love. I think that learning, this whole self-love piece coming into balance happens through self-love. Um, um, as you learn to love yourself more, as you learn to expand what you are willing and who you are willing to entertain, that's a little different from the usual. Um, I don't know. Am I saying this right? It's like self love um, helps you level up to this person that will be coming in, that you'll be meeting. This period of time during Venus retrograde is a really great time to focus on self love. Um, pretty much any time, but especially now while we're in this kind of retreat mode. Um, just make it all about you. And as you learn to care for yourself and love yourself more, that naturally raises your vibration and allows new energy to come in. We have release. Release. Um, which is that's so interesting because, with the butterfly here, this is a releasing your expectations about what you think you want or what you think is good for you. And this is being very open to whatever, whoever. This is a transformation on so many different levels. This picture in particular, it almost seems like the butterflies are coming out of her. There's a transformation outside of you because of the transformation that's going on within through the self-love, through coming into balance. This is a really pivotal time for you. I think Venus retrograde I think Venus goes direct at the end of January 29th or so. Um, so this is the perfect time for you to go through this transformation. And on the other side of it, yeah, one of these butterflies. um, it's like this energetic thing where the butterflies come out of you, and one of them lands on this person, is drawn to the flowers that they have around them. Um, there's a whole new wave. Yeah, again, the beliefs, the values, the ideals, all that um, changing. Energetically, you're going to feel really drawn to someone and just like, what? What is this? This is different, but I like it. Let me just get one more. Ooh, boundaries. Boundaries. This is what's happening right now. Learning to set boundaries for yourself. Maybe learning to change your boundaries. With her kind of in this bubble, it definitely speaks to me of what I was just saying, where this time right now is um it's all about self-love. It's all about releasing what doesn't serve you anymore, any kind of ways of thinking, believing, all that. And you're kind of in this protected little environment. And, on the other side, this bubble will pop. I mean, this flower here, this is this is really interesting. One of these flowers is going to make its way over to your bubble. Maybe it'll pop that bubble, and one of your butterflies is going over to this person. This is neat. This is yeah, you 2 are going to naturally be drawn to each other. There's gonna be some little thing that each of you goes, "Huh? What's that? Hmm, I I'm really intrigued." Both of them are looking. She's looking at the butterfly, she's looking at the flower, like, "What is this? This is new, this is different. Hmm." I think, yeah, you're gonna be just as much of a game changer for your person as they will be for you. So there it is. I'm leaving it there. This is beautiful. I love this reading for you. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you on the next video. Mwah. And thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing.